There's a voice in your head that is making you socially awkward. Right now, you're having a voice in your head that is making you anxious around people. When every single time that you gotta talk to people, the queue girl, when you are invited to parties, or even when you gotta talk to the server to order your food, this voice is the one that is making you socially awkward. But first thing first, my name is David Duarte, and I help shy guys overcome the social anxiety. And if you have social anxiety, I make content and I focus on social anxiety only. So I basically give you the tools and everything that you need in order to overcome your social anxiety. But if you need my personal help in order for you to become free and in order for you to overcome your social anxiety, so that you can go from anxious to confident. So if you need my help, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. So anyway, what would happen if you didn't have this voice? What would happen if you were able to make this voice disappear? If you were able to quiet this voice, what would happen? You would be able to be super charismatic, super confident around people. You would be able to make friends super easy, and you would be able to have the confidence and be able to not have anxiety around girls. One simple voice. If you're able to quiet this voice, you will be able to have a huge transformation when it comes to talking to people and making friends. Because for years I had this voice in my head, and this was the voice that was making me anxious around people, that was making me awkward around people. And not only that, I've seen that this voice is super common with other people that are shy and that have social anxiety. Because I have helped a lot of people overcome the social anxiety. When I tell you the things that this voice tells you, you're gonna be able to relate to this thing, because this voice is super common. So this voice prevents you from being confident, and it makes you more socially awkward, more nervous and anxious around people in 3 different ways. The first one is, it tells you that you will fail before you even try. So this voice is gonna jab and it's gonna appear every single time that you wanna be social, that you wanna talk to people. It makes you more anxious before, and it makes you more anxious when you are about to do something. It makes you think about the reasons, and it makes you think about why you shouldn't take action in the first place. It makes you think about the things that are gonna go wrong, the worst case scenario, and why you shouldn't take action. And we can say that it's basically trying to protect you from rejection. It's preventing you from embarrassing yourself and from putting yourself out there. So let's say the first example, right? There's a cute girl, right? Either a cashier or someone that you know. She's so cute, right? You want to ask her out. You want to ask for her phone number, her Instagram, whatever the case is. But when you're about to do that, this voice is going to start to jab things in your head. Things like, oh, there's people around you and they will hear that you're talking to her. Oh, come on. Do you really think that she will give you a chance? Hey, man, she's out of your league. You're not good enough. Who do you think you are, right? So this voice is going to start to jab when you're about to take action. When you're about to take the courage to talk to her, to talk to this girl, this voice is going to prevent you, and it's going to make up a lot of things, and it's going to start to project and start to make movies about how things are going to go wrong, right? Well, let's say there's a money opportunity, right? You could either make money online, or you can either get a promotion to make more money. If you fail, other people will see that. You're not capable to do that. You don't have what it takes, right? So this voice is to start to convince you and tell you the reasons and why you shouldn't take action, because it's trying to protect you, right? And what happens is, this voice makes you more anxious, because if you believe the things that this voice is telling you, it's gonna make you more anxious. It's gonna make you think about the things that are gonna go wrong, and you don't wanna fuck it up. You don't want the girl to reject you. You don't want the people to hear, or you don't want people to see that you're gonna fail. And that's why this voice is preventing you from take action in the first place. Another thing that I've seen that this voice prevents people from being confident around people is that it tells us that we're bad after we did not try. So this voice stops you from taking action. And since you don't take action, since you don't approach the girl, since you don't take the opportunity, it makes you attack yourself and makes you condemn yourself and hate on yourself for not taking action. It makes you feel bad about yourself for not taking action. So you start to beat yourself up, right? Same thing. There's a cute girl, right? First, we had our voice japping and telling us that she's out of your league. All the people are going to see that. All the people will hear that we're going to get rejected. So you don't take action. And since you don't take action, she's gone, right? And now you're like, oh, come on, man. Why you didn't approach her? Why didn't you have the balls to approach her, man? It was so easy. It was so simple. She was by herself. Why are you so weak and pathetic? Same thing with the money opportunity, right? oh my God, why didn't you take the opportunity? That's why you were broke. That's why you're not able to achieve great things in your life. Why are you so weak and pathetic? So not only this voice prevents you from taking action, but it also makes you condemn and start to attack yourself. This voice makes you hate on yourself, be disappointed on yourself, condemn yourself because you didn't take action. And what happens is you enter into a cycle of not taking action because your mind convinced you that things are gonna go wrong, that the girl is gonna reject you, that the job that you, or the job opportunity or the money opportunity, you're not capable to do that. And that's why it stops you from taking action. And since this voice has stopped you, it also makes you condemn, attack, and hate on yourself because you didn't take action. So you enter into this cycle of hating yourself and think that you are pathetic, that you are weak, that you don't have what it takes, right? So it stops you, you start to hate on yourself. But let's say you want to break this cycle, right? You want to have the courage and the balls to talk to them. And now you're like, okay, this time is going to be different. I'm not going to let this voice stop me. I'm not going to hate on myself. I'm going to take action, because if I don't, I start to attack on myself and I'm going to feel like shit. You have the balls now. You have the courage now to talk to the girl. You have the balls now to take action on the money opportunity. This voice tells you that you are bad after you did try. Because think about this. Just the fact that you had the courage to approach the girl, just the fact that you had the balls to go and approach the girl, take action, do the things that you're afraid to do, that's a win. You should celebrate that. You should be proud of yourself. Like, oh wow, I was afraid, I was nervous, I had this voice telling me things. But that really doesn't happen, because this voice tells you that that win wasn't good enough, right? That you were nervous, that you said the wrong thing, and since you were anxious and nervous, it doesn't count as a win, right? Same thing with a cute girl, right? You had the balls to approach her, but you're attacking yourself. You're like, why did I say that? That was so stupid. That was so awkward. She probably thinks that I'm weirdo. She probably thinks that I'm stupid. And this voice will start to make you think about why that wasn't good enough, about why that wasn't the best thing. And this is why you start to convince once again to not take action, to attack on yourself. Because even when you tried, it's not good enough. Even when you tried, it wasn't a win. Because it wasn't perfect. Because it wasn't good. This voice is the voice that is making you socially awkward. Because this is what the expert call it the inner critic. They call it the inner critic because no one is judging you. No one is thinking that you're stupid, or no one is thinking that you're weird, or that you're awkward around people. No one but you. You are your worst enemy. You are your own judge. And this is why you feel like people are judging you. And this is why you feel like people are thinking that you're weird. But the reality is that no one is thinking that you're weird. It's just you. Because you have this voice and you're listening to this voice. And this is why you feel nervous, anxious, awkward around people. Because you feel judged. Because you feel like they're thinking that you're weird. Because you feel like they're thinking that you're awkward around people. Because you think that people are seeing that you're nervous talking to them. And this makes you anxious and you're your worst enemy. So as crazy as it sounds and as simple as it sounds, if you are able to make this voice just less louder, if you are able to listen to this voice just less, you will be able to be more confident around people, right? Just make this voice a little, let's say if you make this voice 20% less louder, you will be able to be less percent more confident and less percent less anxious around people. So this is a trick, and this is why you have to let go of this voice, the inner critic, the judging yourself, the condemning yourself. And how do we stop this voice? So this is how to stop this voice, right? First thing first, it's not an overnight change, but like I said, you're just gonna make a little bit more progress and just make it a little bit less louder in order for you to see huge changes in your life, right? It takes time, but you will be able to be more confident. So the first thing that you need in order to make this voice less louder, in order for you to stop this voice, is, right? Because instead of condemning yourself, instead of attacking yourself and be like, oh my God, why am I not good enough? I suck. This is not, I'm not good enough. She thinks that I'm weird. They are thinking that I'm weird. Instead of attacking yourself, condemning yourself, hating on yourself, accept it. because hey, you're not where you want to be just yet, and that's okay. You feel anxious, weird, nervous around people, and that is okay, because the first step to freedom is to accept it, right? And now you might be like, oh, but I shouldn't feel nervous around people, but I should be confident. Hey, you should, but that's okay, man, because that's why you're watching this video. Because if you watch this video and you take action on the things that I'm gonna talk about, if you basically apply the tools that I give you on my videos, or if you get my help and you use that to apply these things in your life, you will be able to eventually be more confident around people. So you're not where you want to be just yet, and that is okay. You gotta accept it. It's like, imagine condemning yourself, attacking yourself, thinking that you're pathetic and weak because you cannot lift 300 pounds, right? You can only lift 100 pounds, but you start to attack on yourself, calling yourself weak, being upset every single time that you go to the gym because you cannot lift 300 pounds just yet. What do you have to do? Well, just go through the progress of eating more, lifting more, adding more weight, doing one more rep every single time that you go to the gym. Apply progressive overload, take action. And if you're able to do that, you will be able to eventually lift 300 pounds. Because right now you can only lift 100 pounds, and that is okay. That's the same thing with you, right? You cannot be 100% free. You're not super confident talking to people, and that is okay, because you're not where you want to be just yet. You just gotta take action, go through the process in order for you to be more confident and less anxious around people. So the first thing is, hey, accept it, man. That is okay. What you're feeling nervous, anxious, that is normal. A lot of people feel like that, and that is okay. That's why you're watching this video, and that's a huge progress, because you're watching. That's the first step. Accept it. That's okay. You're gonna make progress. And the second thing that I would say is that you have become hypnotized, because right now, the belief that is making you anxious around people, and why you don't want to be seen, why you don't want to be heard, why you don't want to give your opinions, everything comes down to this belief. I am not good enough. I don't deserve to be lovable. I don't deserve to give my opinion because I am not good enough. I don't deserve to tell the girl that I like her because I am not good enough, right? This simple belief is the one that is making you anxious, right? And the reason that you believe that you're not good enough, it's because you are hypnotized. Because the only thing that you see right now are your mistakes, your weaknesses, your errors, your flaws. The only thing that you have in your mind, if I would ask you, what do you think of yourself? Or, for example, if your name is Michael, who's Michael? You will give me a perception of yourself that is weak, that has a lot of mistakes, that is flawed, that is weak, right? Because you are hypnotized. Because you might disagree with this, but you are not that socially awkward. Because you're not that terrible at talking to people. And you might be like, no, I disagree with you. I don't believe in this. Yes, you are gonna disagree with me because you are hypnotized. Because the only thing that you're seeing right now are your errors, your flaws, your mistakes, your weaknesses. So you have become hypnotized. Because in order for you to be more socially confident, in order for you to make more friends, to ask the girl out, is to let go of this belief of I am not good enough. And the reason that you have this belief super strong within you is because you have been focused, and you have put your focus, and you have been thinking about your mistakes, your errors, your flaws, right? That's why you believe that you're not good enough. That's why you don't want to be seen. That's why you believe that people are thinking that you're weird, that you are a weirdo, that you are weird, that you are suck at talking to people because of this. I am not good enough. Because with my own experience, I can tell you, right? I had a conversation with my friend that basically changed the way that I would see myself, right? This was me, right? So this is me, right? I was hypnotized because I would only see my mistakes, my errors, and my flaws, because I was hypnotized by this. Because I remember when I went to Florida, right? I have a friend of mine that is in Florida, and I remember that I was talking to his girlfriend, right? We were talking about the mind and about how to change your subconscious and all of that. And when I was talking to her, I remember that I was nervous, and I was thinking in my head, oh my gosh, she can totally see that I'm weird. She can totally see that I'm a weirdo, that I'm nervous talking to her. I was nervous because I was talking to a stranger, right? That was his girlfriend. But I remember that after that, I was talking to my friend, and he said, bro, my girlfriend likes you, man. Like she thinks that you are an amazing person, and the things that you were talking about, they were super cool, and she was super interested in that topic that you were talking about, and she found it super helpful, right? In my head, all that I had was my mistakes, my errors, how she's thinking about me, what she's thinking about me, right? I was thinking that the perception that she had about me was that I was a weirdo, was that I was nervous, was that I was socially awkward. But the reality is that she saw me as someone cool, as someone that was interesting, right? Because I was talking about something that she liked it. But in my head, she thinks that I'm weird. She thinks that I am socially awkward, right? Because right now you're hypnotized, and I was hypnotized too. I couldn't see the confident version of me, because I would only feel and I would only be focused on my errors, my flaws, my mistakes, right? Because you are not that socially awkward, because you can only hear your own voice, and that's why you believe that you are a weirdo. That's why you feel anxious, because the only voice that you can hear when you're talking to people is your own voice, right? They're thinking that I'm weird. They must be thinking that I'm awkward. Can they see how nervous I am? Right? The only voice that you hear is your own voice. And as I showed you, your voice is not that positive. Your voice is not helping you. So that's why the only voice that you can hear is your own. This voice is not thinking about positive things about yourself. You believe that people can see that too. You believe that people are thinking that you're weird, because that's the only voice that you can hear, right? In reality, you don't know if people are thinking that you're funny. In reality, you don't know if people are thinking that you're attractive, or people thinking that you are interesting or you are cool. You don't know that. And the reason that you don't know that is because you cannot hear their voice. You cannot hear what they're thinking about you. And you might be like, oh, I don't want to hear what they're thinking about me, right? Because it's scary, because you're thinking that they're thinking that you're a weirdo. But the reality is that that's not the case. And the reason that you believe that, once again, because you're hypnotized. Because let me give you an example, right? How many red things are you seeing right now? Right? Just focus on the things that are red on this example, on this image. How many things can you see? Well, you might be like, oh, I can see the sweater is red. The shoes, right? The shoes are red as well, right? You can see the things that are red. Now, let me ask you this. How many blue things did you see on this? Probably none, right? The reason that you were not able to see the blue things, it's because I asked you to focus on the things that are red, right? If I first asked you to focus on the things that are only blue, you would be able to tell me, because your focus would be on the things that are blue. And it's the same thing with you. Right now, you feel awkward, and you are able to see your flaws and mistakes, and that's why you feel anxious, because you only can think about and you only focus on your flaws, right? I'm feeling nervous right now, and that's something bad. People can see that too. Oh, that time I didn't approach the girl. I'm not good enough. I feel nervous. I'm not good enough. I feel anxious. I'm not good enough, right? You start to focus and find evidence of why you're not good enough, instead of focus on the times that you were funny with people. Instead of focus on the time that you took action. Instead of focusing on the times that someone tells you, oh, wow, you're good at this, right? Because you are hypnotized. And all the good things that people tell you about yourself, or the good things that you have about your own self right now, right here, right now, you have good things about yourself, you're not able to see them, because you are hypnotized, because you can only focus on the bad things about yourself. And this is reinforcing this belief of, I am not good enough, right? So this is crazy, because let me give you an example, right? This happened to me in real life, right? And you can test this out. Just give it 20 days to this, right? I used to always wear my watches on my right, right? I would always wear them on my right. Subconsciously, right? Let's say I'm changing it or I'm doing other things, I would always put it on my right, because I was used to it. Because subconsciously, my mind was used to put my watch on my right. So I read Psycho-Cybernetics, and it basically talks about the example, we can say the living example, or the simple example of changing one thing that you're used to, right? So I did it with my watch. So instead of putting my watch on my right hand, I was putting it on my left one. So I was doing it. I started doing it every single day. I had to remember, okay, I gotta put it on my left one. I gotta put it on my left one. I gotta put it on my left one. And something weird happened, because now when I was changing, or when I was like on a hurry, I noticed that subconsciously, without even me trying, I would be putting my watch on my left hand, because I changed the pattern that I had subconsciously, right? So now, want it or not, I always put it on my left one because I changed the pattern that I had in my head. So I want you to do the same thing with your negative thoughts, because I want you now to choose your thoughts, because now you've been finding reasons and evidence to prove that you're not good enough, that you suck at talking to people, that people find you weird. And once again, that's not true. It's you finding evidence to prove your belief, to prove yourself right, right? Because just like the example that I gave you, we tend to focus on, I want you to focus and choose your thoughts. I want you to make a list of the times that you were socially good with people, the times that you approached the girl, the times that you made someone laugh, that you made someone smile, or the times that a cute girl was looking at you, right? I call them the social wins, right? Because the more that you are able to focus on the good things about yourself, the more that you are able to count your wins, the times that you feel good about yourself, that you feel proud of yourself, you're able to make this belief less powerful, right? Because this is the belief and this is the voice that is making you anxious. I'm not good enough. People can see that I'm socially awkward. So I want you to make two lists, right? And I want you to choose your thoughts. Make a list of the times that you were good enough, right? The times that makes you feel proud of yourself. The times that you can think of, oh wow, I did this thing, or I did X, Y, and Z, and I'm feeling super proud of myself. I want you to write them down and start to read them. Think about them. Bring them to your awareness. I want you to believe them again. I want you to visualize them again. Remember those times that you were good enough, that you were proud of yourself, right? I want you to do that to be able to make this belief go away. And the second one is make a list of your social wins. The time that maybe a girl was looking at you, a attractive girl was looking at you, or the times that maybe a friend said, oh wow, bro, you're good at this, or the social wins that you had with people, right? Maybe you made someone laugh, maybe you made someone smile, maybe you gave a compliment to a stranger, maybe every single thing that you did when it comes to people, right? The social wins, write them down. And if you don't have it, oh, I don't have any, you probably do. Because once again, your mind is blocking you from seeing the good things about you. Your mind is blocking you from seeing you as someone who is social confident, because you are hypnotized. So I want you to start to choose your thoughts in order for you to be able to change this voice, to make this voice less louder, and to make this belief less powerful. And you gotta find reasons why you're good enough, right? It's kind of like a printer, right? We can say automatically thoughts versus manual thoughts, right? Because right now, automatically, you're having negative thoughts about yourself. Why you're not good enough, why you're socially awkward, why you're nervous around people, why people think that you're weird. You focus on the things that are going to go wrong. You focus on why you are not good enough. You focus on why you're socially awkward. But now I want you to manually start to believe wins, your inner wins, the wins that you had, the things that make you feel good about yourself, the good things that you did. And now, like I said, don't be like, oh, I don't know. You have a lot, and I can promise you that. You just gotta sit down. Screw the I don't know. I want you to think and come up with the wins that you had in the past, your social wins, and the things that make you feel proud about yourself, right? It's kind of like the example of a printer. Imagine you have a printer, and every single day it's printing things that you don't like, right? It's printing, let's say, I don't know, images of demons, right? Just to give you the example of your inner demons. It's printing negative things. It's printing images of demons, and you're like, oh my god, this printing doesn't work. What you have to do is just change and control what gets printed. As simple as that, right? And like I said, it's not an overnight, but with enough practice and with enough time, your mind will shift awareness, your mind will shift focus, because now instead of letting your mind and letting the printer gets printed whatever it wants, now you're choosing, now you're choosing what gets printed. Now you're choosing what your thoughts are, what your feelings are about yourself, right? And it's hard because you are hypnotized. But hey, you gotta make the effort. Screw the I don't know, make the list and choose your thoughts and start to see them, start to read them out loud, start to imagine them, to feel them again, so that you can start to feel good, to make this voice less louder and to make this belief of I'm not good enough less. And that's how you will be able to be more confident around people. As simple as that, right? So I want you to make a list of wins. Celebrate your small wins. Now, you believe, but like small wins it doesn't make progress. Hey, stop your ego, right? Because you compare yourself. Oh, that guy is making this. That guy, let's say you make $100, $100. Yeah, $100 online. Oh, this is not enough, bro. This is not enough because people are making 10K a month, 20K a month. Dude, that is a small win. Celebrate it. Because the same example with the gym, if you're able to do just one more rep every single week, if you're able to add 5 pounds every week, that is progress. So celebrate your wins and start to why you're good enough, why you're good at talking to people, the times that make you feel good about yourself. Read them, remind yourself of those wins and visualize them as well. And now the last thing that I would say is, let's open ourselves to imagination. I really like this, right? Because open yourself to possibilities. Because imagine good things that could be true. What about if you're not that awkward around people? What about if she found you attractive? What about if she was nervous because you were approaching her, right? Just stop to being in your head and stop to listening to this voice. Open yourself to possibility. Let's use imagination for 1 second. What about if when you approach her, instead of you, the one that maybe you felt nervous. Yeah, fair enough. You feel nervous, you feel anxious because she was nervous too. Because she was like, oh my God, this guy is cute. I've never been approached in my life. What about if she's the problem? What about if she's the weirdo? What about if she thinks that she's the weirdo? What about if she thinks that she's the socially awkward and that's why she was like close and that's why she didn't take your compliment, right? Just open yourself to imagination, to possibilities, right? Imagine the good things that could be true. Who knows? Because once again, you can only hear your voice, but you can never hear their voice. What about if they're actually thinking the opposite of what you're thinking about yourself? Just open yourself to possibilities. Because this happened to me when I approached, right? I basically work in a restaurant, right? So I approached this table, and it was the parents, and there was a super cute girl, right? And when she saw me, I thought about this, right? I opened myself to possibilities. She was so cute. But I was like, what about if she gets nervous when I get to the table? What about if she thinks, oh my gosh, he's cute? And it actually happened. When I approached her, but when I approached the table, when I looked at her in the eyes, she looked away. Because she was the one nervous. It wasn't me. Because I opened myself to possibilities. And just like the example that I gave you, if you focus on reasons, if you focus on possibilities, if you focus on the good things, you will be able to open your eyes to good things. But if you focus on the wrong things, but if you focus on the negative things about yourself, you will find more evidence on why you are not good enough, right? So just open yourself to possibilities, and you will be able to be amazed to see that the voice that you have is just literally lying to you, right? Because it happens to me. Just open yourself to possibilities and you will be surprised. And the last thing that I would say is just change the way that you treat yourself, right? Because right now, the way that you're treating yourself, right? Let's say this is you as an adult or a young adult, right? You probably are in your 20s. This is you right now, right? This is beating yourself up because that's how your parents treated you. They were trying to make you behave in a good way by beating you, by telling you and making you feel that you're not good enough. And when we grow up, we don't change this. We keep treating ourselves the same way that our parents treated us, right? We beat ourselves up. We start to think about the ways that why we're not good enough, why we're not disciplined enough, why we gotta take action because of, if I don't do it, I'm gonna face punishment, right? We start to treat ourselves the way that our parents treated us. And right now you're doing the same. You're too hard on yourself, and that's why you don't celebrate your wins. That's why you don't think that you're good enough, and that's why you have low self-esteem and you're socially awkward, because you cannot celebrate your wins, because you are treating, because you don't see yourself, because you think that you're not good enough because you're too hard on yourself. I could have done better. I could have gotten more things done. I could have done better. I'm not good enough. That wasn't good enough. I am pathetic. I'm weak. Instead of thinking about, this could have been worse. I could have done worse. Hey, I made progress. I made a small win. That time that I didn't want to go to the gym, I went to the gym. I was disciplined on that day. I made someone smile. I gave the compliment. Fair enough, it wasn't perfect, but I made progress. I had the courage to take action, right? So stop beating yourself up. Stop judging yourself. Stop being your own enemy, and you gotta start to treat yourself in a different way. Start to treat yourself not in the ways that your parents treated you, but in a different way, in a lovely and compassionate way. Because like I said, hey, you're nervous, you fuck it up. That is okay. You just gotta move on and have compassion with yourself. So that was basically the video. I don't want to make it too long because I got more things, right? Advanced tips. But if you just practice that, if you just apply that, you will be able to make this voice less louder, right? So we got more advanced tips, right? Changing the meaning of the past, forgiveness, and all of that. But I don't want to make it too long. So like I said, if you experience social anxiety, I give you basically the tools on my YouTube channel. But if you want a one-on-one help, and if you want me to help you and want me to guide you to overcome social anxiety, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Thank you for watching, man.